Hello, hey everyone. Welcome to the Out of the Box developer session today. I think the last one I couldn't be present, but I hope it was everything was good. Uh, and yeah, so today we are back to talk about 10 ways to contribute to open source projects. That's always interesting topic to be talking about since I think it is a very uh, developers unique thing, right? This open source community stuff. I think it's very interesting how we could advance and grow inside these environments. And I see a lot of other fields that miss some kind of this kind of stuff. So yeah, and well, but before we're gonna jump into the topics, let me say hello to everyone here. So hello, Chila, how are you?
Hello, Hugo. Thank you. I am fine. And hello, everyone who is joining us today. So I am really excited about today's conversation. We talked about open source a few weeks ago, but you cannot talk enough about it. And today we have got a guest who can describe how he is doing open source from his perspective, and everyone has got a different perspective. So I'm looking forward to this conversation.
That's cool. That's great. And you, Igor, how are you, man?
Hi, Hugo. Hi, everyone. I'm good. It's a little bit cold here in the snowy mountains of São Paulo, but all fine. And yeah, the subject of today, like Sheila just mentioned, we had a special session some weeks ago. It was amazing. I'm truly sure that today will be another great session on how do you put your hands on open source. And that's very curious and a great subject. I've seen some job spots worldwide that in the description they have written, we love people that contribute to open source. It's like they were saying, if you contributed to open source, probably you're gonna have a chance in your company. So let's learn from contributing to open source with our special guest from today.
Cool, cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. And yeah, let's see. Hey, Pedro, how are you, man?
Hey, hello everybody. Yeah, I'm excited about the topic as well. We know that open source is something that is in the developer's life for so long, right? It helped many developers already to grow in his careers and help at the lives of developers because we all rely on open source projects in our day-to-day work. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for today.
Great. And since we're talking about open source community stuffs, this weekend I met with Luis on a very very interesting, great event we had for Open for Code. So do you think it's worth mentioning how was the event? You were the main organizer with Luis, with your other Luis from the event, right? From the Quarkus Club, and yeah, I have to be honest. I've been uh, amazed with the size of the event and the quality of the talks. So it was really good event, a awesome event for people to join. It was in São Paulo, so if you were in São Paulo and you missed it, yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna be sharing also the events nearby. But yeah, Luis, talk a little bit about that and say hello to everyone.
Sure. Hello, Hugo. Hello, everyone. So yeah, it was a game changer for my career. I think the biggest event I organized in my life. So it was amazing, an amazing experience. And one thing that I wanted to share is that One of the ways that we have to work on our reputation and gain visibility is to contribute to open source. That is the topic that we will talk about today. But if you are going to events and if you're part of a community, this also could help you gain visibility and work on your reputation and maybe help you grow in your career. And this event for me was one of these opportunities because we had like 9 communities with us from 5 different stacks, not only Java, but also Node, Python, Golang, Kotlin, more than
JavaScript.
20, yeah, people from Java and Node PR, the community. So we had like 5 rooms simultaneously with different talks from very good people from the community that was there only to share knowledge with the community, like an event from the communities to the dev community. It was amazing. And thank you to be there with me.
And I was surprised because it started as a meetup on the weekend. That's awesome, on Saturday, and suddenly it became a meetup with 5 simultaneous rooms with 6 different languages, and that's right, for
Yeah,
from 9 communities. So yeah, it made huge, and it's a huge achievement as well. It was
yeah,
really
too many
impressive.
people and be there with us. So we came with this idea to have different tracks so we could accommodate everyone.
Cool, power of community, and yeah. So today, I'm very happy also because this is one of effect of being contributing and being and helping others. So I'm very proud to be able to call someone that is most of sessions or every session. I think he's always with us and sharing his thoughts, contributing in the conversation in the chat, and now we bring him here to share a bit about his experiences and his point of view, and he wants to talk about open source. So I think it was really interesting to bring the topic here. So I want to call here now Andrés Alcarraz. Hey Andres, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm fine, thank you. I'm really excited to be on the on this side of the show. Yeah.
Could you quickly introduce a bit about yourself so people also can know a bit about you, your
Yeah,
background?
yeah. hmm
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm Andrés Alcarraz. I live in Peru, but I'm from Uruguay. I've been a developer for more than 25 years. Yeah, and mostly in Java, a bit of C++ or some other languages, but mostly Java. And yeah, I really love open source because one of the reasons is because at least half of my career was thanks to an open source project. But yeah, in fact, my first contribution was almost by accident. I didn't know what was contributing at the time. It was back in 2001, and it was on a project that and at that time open source was not so massive, right? But yeah, it was just understanding, trying to understand the project, how to use it. It's an amazing project. JPost is called. Um, Looking at the code, I spotted a bug. I don't know. It was quite evident, but and that was my first contribution. I wrote a mail to the owner, and that's how it all started, almost by accident.
Cool, amazing. And yeah, so we are with these with the we are talking about open source here, but I think it's good to start maybe a discussion about uh, why or what is the benefits of people. You are a developer and you are watching here us. So before anything, if you already contributing to open source, you can share. Can you share here to us what kind of project that you share? But if you do not contribute to open source yet, uh, what is the biggest challenges you have? And for people here on the on our side here on the people our guests here, what is the main benefits do you think about contributing to open source? What are the things that people can have by that may make them invest effort or time to contribute open source? What do you think? I don't know if everyone here is a a constant contributor or with some I'm not constant contributor. I do sometimes I see something and then okay, here I think I have to fix this documentation. It doesn't work at getting started here. And I do some PRs commits. But yeah, what is the biggest what do you think it's the biggest benefits for people, for developers to contribute open source?
For me, okay, yeah. Well, I think that the first thing for me, as I said, the thing that I was doing when I started contributing was learning, and yeah, the first things is learning. To contribute to a project, you have to understand it first and deeply, usually deeply understand it. So you learn about that. I mean, if you're interested in some software, the best way to learn about it is to try to understand the code and do something with that, right? The the second recognition you get now. If you contribute, your name starts to appear in the community of the project, right? And
Yeah, that's
that's
cool.
better than the curriculum, a CV. Yeah, community. You get to be part of the community that's behind the project, the users and the developers. You be the skills, you be the experience that advance your career, of course, and also you have impact. I mean, you have visible impact by everything you do in an open source project. So yeah, you only need to be willing to contribute and pay attention to the things you can contribute about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I think I remember first time at least I don't know everyone here, but when I was before my first contribution open source, I already had a bit of I don't know enough to contribute anything good enough or anything that is that worth to be contributing to the open source. But I always felt like, oh, but I have to contribute something because I use a lot of solutions, open source solutions here, and would be nice. And yeah, that was a big barrier for me. I thought that I need to be an expert to start contributing to some project. And the reality is not like that, right? I don't know if you started in the same way, or anyone here have different experience.
Well, yeah, in my
Do-
case, sorry. Uh,
No,
Well,
go.
okay, okay. Now, in my case, it was just. I mean, I was lucky because yeah, I was reading code and I spotted a quite obvious bug that could have been spotted by any other one. Right? And also, I was lucky because someone gave me that project to work on for the company I was working on. And yeah, but usually there are many things that you don't need to be an expert to contribute, right? And that's part of the idea of this. Uh, I mean, these 10 ways that I shared, what I'm planning to share, doesn't have to do anything to do to making a pull request of code, for instance, right? I mean, Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, hi, Andres. I would like to ask you, do you still contribute to any open source these days actively? And also, I believe we are going to discuss with your ideas on how to get started. But uh, are you actively contributing to any project?
Well, I was the last year and a half. I was quite busy and didn't have much time to do that. Just this month, I am again. I will have some time, and yes, I have a lot of ideas to implement in a specific project that is the same in which I started with this JPOS. And I plan to start contributing right this week or the next one. I have many ideas for requests to do or suggestions to implement.
Yeah, the project you mean is JPOS? Is that the financial one?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that's good. It's good to know. Good to know. So, what I understand is that you take a project that you use to work, and then you see improvements on that library, on that open source library. So, I believe if this will be able to do something, it will be better for everyone. Then
Mhm.
in this case, you will develop. You're suggesting an enhancement, but let's say, uh, do you propose enhancements to the community, having contact with the maintainers of the project, or you first started by looking issues for that project, just to have an overview for who doesn't have ever contributed to open source? I did contributed to thousands of projects during my own career, but I did never contributed to open source yet, and I want
Mhm.
to change that this year. And you are the man that is gonna show me the way.
I hope I hope it's. Uh, but yeah, what I usually do is try to do something. When I try to do something with the software, in this case JPOS, let's say professionally, and I mean most contributions come from a selfish place. I mean, you need something. Sometimes you need something that you think it could be better. In my case, I have a close relationship with the maintainer, so I can ping him on Slack and ask him what he thinks about it. But here, in this case, in the mailing list, he already mentioned how he likes the contributions to be proposed. So, for instance, like in a JEP, right? Java Enhancement Proposal. He but sometimes if I think writing the proposal will be expensive for me in time, I ask him first what he will think about that. If it's I that's the word. If it's relevant, let's say, and if he thinks yes, well, then I go and write the proposal. But sometimes I go and write the proposal right away. I mean, if I have it on my mind and it's easy, I have and write this feature. It would be nice because this and this, and it could be implemented if I know how. I say in this case, I usually know how because I really deep into the project. But otherwise, you can just say your ideas. But I also say how I would implement it. For instance, sometimes I propose little changes, and then if accepted, I write a pull request. Yeah.
Great. This proposal comes before the pull request, right? You write
Yeah.
these directly on GitHub in the project GitHub.
in this case, in the discussions, yeah, in the discussions in GitHub. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Or
If
if
there is,
or if it's an issue in an issue, right? If it's a
I
bug in an
see.
issue, but if it's something to discuss to implement later as a discussion, it depends on the thing. Right?
Great,
But
great.
sometimes I discuss it in the Slack of the project with the members
Yeah, makes
previously.
sense.
Mhm.
You discuss with them before you get it matured, and then you make the proposal into the project page on GitHub itself. Makes
Mhm.
sense. That's great.
Cool. I just want to say hello here to Samuel. Hey, Samuel, good to have you here on the
Well,
chat. Yeah, and he's quite excited here. So Java, he's just finishing the shifts of the day, and yeah, cool. Good to have you here. Good to see you here. Let me share here the link of the JPost project first on the chat. Thanks, Luis, for grabbing it for me, so people can follow which project we are talking about. And I see that you are the top 10 contributor on the JPost, Andres. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Eh? And yeah, so let's jumpstart with the tips to start contributing, right? If I feel like as in the beginning for me, it was very difficult to start these contributions. It's always good to have someone sharing some good ways to get started. And I still use this. I read the article and I still use these tips. So yeah, very good to know. So what from the top 10 tips, which one is the recommend us to or recommend everyone to talk about to
Well,
be
yeah,
a yeah, go ahead.
yeah. The first, I think that this Bruno talks about it quite often, but I think that the best way to start contributing is something that is by ways that are not really risky. So, for instance, nothing will break if you modify some documentation, right? So before you get noticed and then you start contributing more important things.
It, the connection dropped. Okay, so
yeah.
I think Andres have some connection issues. So well, but about documentation contributions, I totally agree. It's a low barrier to you don't have to know how to build a project, how to test the project, how to do stuff before you start contributing. It is very common to have the uh, something to be fixed on documentation. Well, Pedro
Hey,
also
Hugo.
frozen. Yeah,
Yeah. I have a question about contributing to
you Pedro.
documentations. Pedro
Yeah.
just switched.
He
uh,
duplicated himself.
yeah.
Oh, the
uh,
other is agentic Pedro.
agentic. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
Okay.
It's my
Go
AI
ahead. Go
avatar.
ahead. Nico.
These documentations are they used? They usually versioned as markdowns in GitHub as well?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Great.
yeah. It's part of the project. Usually on the some markdown inside the project, and the interesting fact is that but it's only the documentation. Would it be? I would like to do it. Usually people underestimate the documentation contribution, and in the reality, for the people that is building the project, the documentation is something that they usually need some help, because most of the time it's something that uh, uh, maybe they need to stop to write, and if someone can actually review and give some OpenCR to correct something, some typos, something like that. It's really, really useful for the guy that is the owner of the project, right? I also
Yep.
do a lot of these when you do getting started, when you do the tutorial and you run through that and fix something. It's really, really useful because they won't be they won't need to be testing their own tutorial. They have this from the community, and that's amazing. So, and we are back here with Andres. Hey, Andres, I think you dropped a connection there. But yeah, we are just keep talking about the documentation contribution. But yeah, we would like to hear from you. What is the what do you think about this tip? What is your thought over it?
Well, yeah, I think that it's something easy to do usually. It's low hanging fruit, right? And it
Yes.
helps you build the trust on the maintainers and the owners to to contribute more impactful things later, right? Or more or other stuff later. Yeah.
And it's I have this it's really a great entry point because you won't gonna break anything. You
Mm-hmm.
are contributing something that it fixes, really fixes
Yeah.
some typo, something like that.
And you're
uh,
helping people.
yeah, you're helping people, and with low risk, so it's easier to get closer to the community. I have commits on documentation for Microsoft. I think it was .NET project, and man, .NET project. I thought that I never have any contribution on a project of that size, right? And I have it because there was a typo on the tutorial and wasn't working. So I just updated there, and that's it. And you feel part of the community yourself because you have some contribution there, and that people
Yeah.
accepted. You feel accepted in the end, right?
I,
Yeah.
I do have one here on my to-do list to do that is for documentation because I've been working with Spring AI these last months, and that's a very new library, and they have changed a lot of things. And before the GA release that was open to public, they have split the package of the dependencies. So if we want to do some stuff, you need to import more dependencies, but the documentation does not reflect yet which dependencies you need to import. They just put a note there. Be aware that a major release has changed how things works, and with the release notes there. But it took me a while to figure out. I needed to go into the source code to dig to understand that 2 months ago they have moved that dependencies to another package. So here is an opportunity to contribute to that documentation. I didn't did it yet, but if it's not reflected there yet, I will do so. Because I am aware of the work that it took to figure out
Figure out.
where that vector package from Spring AI was moved. It wasn't into core anymore. They just separated that. It's a way of getting started, I believe, from what we talked.
That's an awesome way. Yes. Yes.
But it's also kind of finding it was not an easy thing to find, right? I don't know if it's
Oh,
always this hard to get something to start, or maybe you can just figure out something easier to start. I've figured out that one because I was playing in depth with that library.
Well, yeah, usually it's the easy part is finding out what to contribute. The how is not always so easy, but that's the important part. Having something to contribute is already a big step, right? You already know what to contribute. You just have to find out the how.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
I
think
I
I
have a
think
quick comment about
go ahead, go
documentation.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, because Andres, he said like if you contribute to documentation, you can't broke anything. Then I would say only for fun that you can broke some links. And then I remember it can happen because if you are learning something from the documentation and you see some links broken, you can start contributing right away because you have the example. Um, it's not only updating the documentation, fixing links, translating. There are so many things that you can contribute to the documentation itself.
Yeah, yeah. Any
And
any unclear instruction that you see that you don't really understand how to follow, right? For instance, what Igor said, right? It's an unclear instruction that or sometimes it's unclear, sometimes it's plain wrong, and you can fix it or you can improve it. Yeah, something that was hard for you to understand, you can explain it like you would have liked to be explained to you.
and I think and I think adding to Igor's comment about how to find these problems, the best way actually I seen is to actually contribute on projects that you already use. So as I mentioned before, .NET, I wasn't hunting for something to some bug or some typo on the documentation to be to create some PR. Actually, I was really getting started, and then the getting started wasn't working, and then I realized, oh, this command it's outdated. We have to it needs to be updated, and I stopped at a few minutes just to create the just to make the fork, create the fix on the documentation, then create a pull request. The first time might be cumbersome. The okay, I need to do a fork, we edit, and then we have to create a pull request and write some message about the fix. But when you start getting used to it, of course, it's good practice to always read the contributions, documentation from each project. They might have some rules. They might would like you to create following some standards, some patterns. But when you start being used to it, yeah, start to be okay, how can I say a good action to do of the day, and you feel good. And the best part is if you are contributing on a project that you already use on your day to day, probably it is something somewhere or some technology that would like to be part of the community that you use usually, right? Actually, I'm not a .NET developer. I just use on the project sometimes, but yeah, it's also good to be part of that, right? To be part of the community if you contribute on things that you're already using.
that's great, Hugo. And even to add, of course, when I was looking what happened to the dependencies, I asked AI about that. But if that information is not really spread for a long time, since this was a very new movement and the documentation does not have it yet, AI has no sources about that. So you can ask as much as you want to AI. It will not figure out that they have moved the package. But after the documentation is updated, probably using search like a rag that they use to get more context into AI searches. If the documentation is updated, probably it will start to be getting better
Yeah.
results on the suggestions that it returns to you. So it's not all lost to AI. We do need documentation as the second source. The first source, of course, will always be the code, but it's always much harder to always having to read everything into the code. It will take much more time. So that's why documentation is there.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I had the same issue as you, Igor, and that's why I didn't upgrade AI, Spring AI from. Just before I left my last job. I was with that, with using AI for something,
Yeah.
and the reason why I didn't upgrade from the M6 to 100, I mean to the first uh, proper release of Spring AI, was because of that. Because I didn't know how to fix the packages, and I didn't have the time to fix it before leaving. Yeah.
Yeah, they did some major changes. I also did a not a kind of open source contribution to the project itself yet. But what I did is I was doing a course about Spring AI, a training, and all the code was on a milestone version. So that was very different on the testing and other stuff. But since I was developing the repositories for the training, when I finished the training, I shared with the other classmates, other people that takes the same training, that same course on Slack. Hey guys, I know if you're getting lost as I did during the course, I did work it out. And here you'll have the 6 repositories with Spring AI 1.00, the final version, if you need to refer to. Man, but that's a very smaller case. It's not something that you're contributing like you did, and like we open here the JPOS, and I can see your face in the contributors. That's something nice. That's something nice. And as I've mentioned just on the beginning of the session, I've started to see that on really good job places, job spots, and like you also mentioned, Andres, it's your own resume, your own CV. So that's great.
Yeah,
So
that sharing mindset is all you need. That sharing mindset that you have to help your teammates in over Slack is the only thing you need to contribute to open source. You only have to do the same in a pull request.
great. That's great. I also add that these repositories on my blog. If anyone search about that on Google, probably it will appear. But let's start to do that on pull requests as well. That that's amazing.
Cool stuff. And well, but Andres, so moving on, what else? What is the second tip that you think is the best one for people who is starting with open source?
Well, the next one I will think is bug reporting, right? I mean, we all, no software is perfect, right? So we all, I mean, that's why we hate computers sometimes, right? I mean, you want to kick the machine because it doesn't work as you expect.
And
So when
sometimes
that
you do.
happens, yeah, when that happens, it's usually a bug, right? So so all you need to do is just report the issue you're facing instead of getting anger to the machine. Redirect that energy to report the bug, and yeah, we all face that at some point. So if you face that in a project that you care and you think that you care enough to go deep about the bug, have to know why the bug happens. You just have to know how to reproduce it. You have to you have to reproduce it once and again, so you know exactly the boundaries of the problem. And then you have just, I mean, it's a tedious process. It's easy but tedious, right? You have to do it. Usually have to go through the process many times, so you have a clear way to reproduce the problem and state the problem in the bug report. But I mean, it's easy in terms of it's easy to find how to contribute, what to contribute, like in the documentation. Not It's not always easy or quick. More, I mean, more than easy. It's not usually quick, but it's easy, but tedious, right? And you just put what happens, under what circumstances the problem happens, and yeah, you just have to use the software until you find an issue. Provide a clear reproduction steps for the maintainers. Include relevant system details because it may happen only in your setup. But if you can try to reproduce it in another, if you have another machine with another or another environment, you can try to reproduce it in that other one, and you already are giving the maintainer information about if that only happens in one and not in the other. That would be a really nice hint for the maintainers on how to spot the bug. Yeah, you will have to be thorough, step by step, and you will need patience for that. But it's
Yeah.
not hard per se.
So, Andres, as reporting a bug, you become a contributor of that project. So you're contributing to open source, even if you are not contributing with a solution itself.
Yeah, any of these, if you contribute to documentation, you are also a contributor. But
Yeah.
in this case, it's like another level, right? But you still don't necessarily need inside information of the code base, for instance, for this part. For this and the documentation, you don't need to know about how the software the project was programmed, right?
Yeah. How things works. You just need
Yeah.
to report some odd behavior that it's not working as expected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a quick story about that. A teammate, my current team, we eventually were working towards Python code, and we use VS Code for Python. And eventually, we got to an error in the VS Code extension for Python. This is a Microsoft one. So when we got an error in debugging, and there was a specific issue that the debugging the test runner could not discover the test, a specific issue, and we realized that it was just some like path stuff, and we had some ways to make it work. So this friend say, okay, let me. There is no issue about that in the VS Code extension. So let's open an issue, right? And then he opened an issue, like explaining, oh, we do this, we open like this, just creating a new get a new rip and show that we can boom, no, we cannot discover the test. Good. And push the issue there. The issue was there. Eventually, he dig it in the scripts and look and find the where that code was running, and found the fix. And then I'll say, oh, let me, and it worked, and it's try to say, oh, let me send this PR here, like with the fix, like some, I think it was like some days or weeks after after the issue. And they say, oh man, I don't know why it's a VS Code extension from Microsoft. I don't know that you will accept my PR here. Say, and then he sent the PR and forget about it. But like 2 weeks later, the PR accepted and says, with just two comments, say, "Oh yeah, I was able to reproduce your issue, and this PR effectively fixed it. Okay, thank you." Just bring it out and send it.
Yeah. Now you tell, great, send the bill, Microsoft.
Yeah. But of course, this is an open source extension, right? So
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
we could do that.
That's why he could find, he could read the code, and that's why there was a bug. It's from Microsoft. Makes sense.
Cool.
That's great.
Um, yeah, that's amazing. And I think the same as Pedro's friends about we do have this fear of okay, I'm not good enough to contribute to such kind of project, and in the reality, they are also developers suffering with these bugs. We don't even know if they exist or not, and yeah. I think that if you are willing to, if you believe in building stuff together, and if you believe in being more in creating this kind of community, and you want to be part of some community, it's a great entry point, right? To be giving a bit of your time for to start being part. And all the tips Andres sharing here, they are a great way to start and keep doing without having to be a expert and have to do I don't know, have to fix the mightiest bug on the project, right? I'm not sure if you feel the same, Andres. If you so the idea is to start small, right, with the contributions.
Yeah, because if you start small, you build trust, and then you will be able to contribute more things, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think building trust is it's the you nailed it, because as you are here, right, you are contributing on the chat with us, you're talking with us, and this build trust between Andres is the guy that's always are commenting here, bringing his ideas and sharing his experience here. Let's bring him here and be and have a nice talk here with him. I think works the similar way, right? Building trust. Uh,
Exactly.
And
well, that
your
was. Go ahead.
article, Andres, is very, very interesting. There's a lot of ideas that we're discussing here. There are a lot more. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to cover them all, but what I can tell that for our audience, that as far as I know, Red Hat only hires people that contributes to their open source projects. As far as I know, you can have awesome CV, awesome resume. If you didn't ever contributed to them, they don't know how you work, how you code. So your CV, your resume, it's your contributions to these open source projects, and this put you a step away. If you want to be a step ahead in the competition, especially these days with the AI. Of course, you will need AI to know about that, as we have discussed massively in the last session. But contributing to open source will make the difference. Pretty clear as far as I can see, and that's why I'm gonna make my movement as fast as I can with Andres' tips here.
Also,
Andres, we
yeah.
were talking about bug reporting, and the other day I had an issue with a very known database tool, and I was thinking about reporting the bug. But then when I entered the project page on GitHub, I saw like 3,000 issues opened.
Wow.
And this really connects to the next item in your article, that is issue
Right.
triage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can you say about it?
Well, yeah. What that's another way to help the maintainers, because um, what happens with the what you mentioned right now, right? You are going to introduce a new bug report, and you see most people doesn't care about looking for if that's a similar bug report was already entered, that is the same but with other words. But if you are really interested in the project, you are you subscribe to the alerts, you will get all the bug reports, right? All the issues, and you will, if you really care, you will notice that you already read that before, or you knows that it's not really a bug, and you can just drop a comment saying, hey, this is not a bug, go to there to enter, this is the right way to enter the what you are contributing or saying. And yeah, triaging those, but there is an issue with that. It's easy to help the one that contributed, but if you don't have the maintainer privilege, you are not able to close it, right? But at least you can help the people who enter the bug, or drop a comment in the bug, so that the maintainer knows that that is the same that another one and can be closed. Yeah. So,
And this thing, this way that you've mentioned about directing the people, this is what you did in 2023 with Un Gaucho. He was asking for a good first issue, and he opened an issue. And
yeah.
then you told him, "N- not let's not create an issue, and let's start a discussion." And that's great. You teached him in some way. He opened in the wrong place, but he learned where to open. So
Yeah.
so
Sorry.
not being afraid of asking. I believe that was the main point here. Even if he asked in the wrong place at first, not being afraid would be say, you can just have an answer. Don't do that. Is not the right place, but keep calm and go and do it in the right place, because sometimes we do afraid, we got frozen, I don't know how to do, where to do, or how to ask, and if I do that in the wrong place, it's better to say sorry than to never take the first step. That's what I think.
Well, that brings an sorry, I think we are right now. I like diverge from the path, but this is an awesome part. Not every project is easy on contributors, right? There are some projects where the community is harder, and on those projects you may not want to contribute, because if you contribute the wrong way and all you get is criticism, you won't go contributing again, right?
Yeah.
So that's important, if you like the project, to treat the others like you would like to be treated, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah, everyone made mistake, and if we are waiting to be perfect to do the first contribution, we will never do that, right?
This must have the feeling of community, right? If
Hmm.
that's a community, you will feel great to contribute more. And this even makes more sense why companies, specific companies, look for people that contribute to open source. It's not just about the code that you show to them, it's how you deal with other developers that are wanting to contribute. Just by that direction that you gave to Gaucho in here, back then, we can see that you was very kind with him, saying that it's great to you want to help and showing him a good direction. If you're just rude with someone that's trying to contribute, the company will also see that as well, and cannot be in a good way. So that's a test drive, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Mhm.
go ahead. Go
Go,
ahead,
go
Andres.
Andres.
Yep.
One.
No, sorry, I was just acknowledging. I agree with that. But yeah, if
Big one. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Getting out of time, I don't know if you want to briefly mention other ways.
Yeah.
I think I just see here a comment from Jadra Rodriguez, and I think it's great to have you mention it. Oh,
Yeah, he dropped.
okay.
Maybe.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we can contribute here. So I think it's great question here. Contributing with only documentation would be a good start. And also, does this contribution be important?
Yes. As we have discussed here, everything that you contribute that helps other develops and the project, even information like the documentation is important. Everything built.
Yep. I have the same opinion as Igor. So once you contribute uh, in the documentation, I believe. Oh, so just let me just Andres. I just we are just commenting about Jeter Rodriguez question here. And yeah, was Igor mentioned it that yes, of course, it is any contribution would be important, and I think also whether if important or not, if it was the fix was useful for you to get the documentation or the getting started working. Any it will be important and helpful for any other one come after your fix because yeah, as Igor mentioned it, after he went through a long tracing back to find the issue. If any other one will, if he with his update he can save any other one time to fix that, it would be amazing. Um, and and I think the most important part here may be not just contributing on documentation, thinking on just contributing on documentation. Think it as a start point, and then you can not you can keep on documentation, but if you can do it more and more, you probably would be a very welcome person to be part of the team that are building that project because you are so helpful by reviewing the documentation, by keeping the quality of the documentation, by helping people that can be the users of the project. So think about that. If you are the owner of the project, you probably would be happy if someone could know about your project and write the documentation, review the documentation for you, and fix stuff without you having to do this or that, etc. Right? So I think you can think on that way. It will be amazing. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
keep
and
it.
I'd like
Yeah,
to hear your comment.
sorry, I don't know what's happening with my internet just today.
No problem.
But yeah, I mean, keeping documentation up to date is one of the harder tasks one have to do. I mean, we all face it, right? Documentation gets obsolete so fast that if you have people uh, checking if it still works and suggesting the way to keep it updated. What else you can ask for them, right? I mean, it's really helpful. It's really helpful. I mean, it's more helpful that people may think. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about, and nowadays with AI, we're gonna have so many things that we're gonna have to review. That will be very welcoming to have a community that can actually review stuff. And oh, okay, this AI make correct. Go. Oh, this thing AI wrote wrong. And you can also point out that all this
Maybe you
stuff.
need an AI to review.
Yeah, and you have to review the AI reviewer.
Yeah, you need
But
to
yeah,
AI to triage before.
yeah, that's true. You're gonna have this inception of AIs. Uh, okay, so but yeah, it was
Si-
a very warm discussion. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, since you mentioned AI, question to Andres and also to everyone: do you believe that AI can help you contributing to any of these topics? I can see. Let's see that if you're creating a fix, a pull request fix, a change fix, the same way you do with any project, you can use AI to help improve your code. Of course, you know what to do, but do you believe that using AI these days will help you to improve your contributions to any open source code? Maybe for speed up things or in any other way, or for documentations. Of course, it can generate readme docs out of the box really quickly, and also if you have used that for contributing in your daily usage.
For sure. I mean, for instance, what you mentioned about Spring AI, right? I mean, we have Meta AI there. I mean, levels of AI, right? Uh, because, for instance, you can use AI to connect. You can ask the AI to connect to the Spring Boot repositories and find the right package, the right dependencies to add. Perhaps, I mean, I don't know if that would work, but if you ask the AI to scan the repositories of Spring AI, then the very same AI will propose you a starting point for writing the documentation that you are trying to fix, and you then just adapt it to your liking, right, and fixes the things that it may have wrong.
Absolutely, makes total sense.
And even
So
for writing the proposal, it most probably will give you the template or a good starting point, right? I mean,
great. So even for the proposals of changes, you're using that as a template just to speed up things. So that's how AI changes even how you contribute to open source these days. And that's great. If you see, you don't need to type it all by hand. You don't need to. You would do that differently in the past using maybe a copy paste, but now AI does that for you and creates kind of a template. And but of course, you need to know what you're putting into. You need to adapt it. You need to read it and then submit it like a tool, right? Like the same thing for code.
yeah.
Great, great, great.
Okay, so yeah, it was amazing discussion, Andres. It was great to have you here, and I hope you can come back to bring more of your experience to share with everyone. But yeah, we are close to the end now, and yep, last word that you would like to share with everyone before we go to finish here, the session today?
Well, first of all, for having me here. I mean, it's really nice to be here. Um, yeah, but also don't be afraid to contribute. I mean, there is no small. I mean, there is a small contribute. There may be a small contributor, but every contributor matters. Many open source projects are built on small contributions grouped, right? I mean, many of them, my first contributions were really small, but when you added up, it made me the one of the top 10 committers of JPOD, for instance. Yeah, and most of them were really small. I mean, in code changes, they were most of them really small, but they added up, right? Yeah, every contributor matters. I mean, that's the every contributions makes a difference because the sum of all them is a lot of sound grades make a beat, right?
Awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks a lot for being with us here, Andres. It's great to have you on this side of the screen this time. It's amazing to have someone, one of our top commenters here, joining us. With a great subject. Congratulations on your article, on the contributions you have done, and what I could. The lesson that I take from today's session is that these days it's easy than ever to contribute to open source, and the benefits of this makes you stand out. um, and thank you very much for bringing this knowledge here. For anyone that is watching us, go through Andres article. It's almost a guide on how to do that, and then you revisit if you forget on how to do it. Thanks for sharing about it, about discussions, about issues, and how you started on the documentation. We've just mentioned just a few here. We talked just about documentation, bug, and issue, but you will see in the article about translations, user support, testing, code reviews, feature suggestions, design, spreading the word. There were a lot of things we just covered here that I didn't consider as contributing to open source, but they are. So thanks a lot for bringing the word, Andres, and thanks to everyone in the session as well, and for you that is watching us.
Cool. Thanks. Andres, so before closing the session, if anyone would like to follow you, what kind of social media do you use? LinkedIn, Twitter?
Yeah, I have Twitter. I mean, yeah, LinkedIn is the most the one I enter most frequently. Twitter really few, really small. I
Really?
can share. I should share my. I have to find them. Um,
The
but
LinkedIn
sorry.
link?
Yeah, but
I have here.
okay. Yeah, and LinkedIn is the place where no, I'm not that active right now, but I plan to be again these weeks. I have a Twitter that I plan to not use so much because I try to build a community in
No other social
Sky,
media?
Blue
Oh,
Sky, and Blue
Blue Sky.
Sky.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
but yeah, and GitHub. Yeah,
Okay.
Great.
Great.
I
Yeah.
can see some links in your blog. I can see your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your GitHub. So
yeah.
anyone that wants to connect with you can get you from there as well, right?
Cool.
Correct. Yeah, just the other day, I entered Twitter and I discovered they had an old message from someone asking for help about JPOS precisely.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah.
I'm just
I
following you
uninstalled
now.
it. Thank you. I just installed. In fact, I uninstalled it from the because it gave me. I don't know. It was too easy to enter and then lose time.
Great.
Yeah, that's great. So okay, so I shared your contacts here on the chat, and
Thank
yeah,
you.
once again, thanks a lot, and hope to see you on other sessions, on the future sessions. So thanks everyone. Thanks. Yeah, go ahead.
No, just thank you. He was saying thank
Okay,
you.
okay, okay.
I
So,
hope to be back. I hope
uh,
you have it
Andres,
again.
yeah, with you, I will disconnect here on the live, and we keep talking a bit on the backstages, and then so don't turn off. Stay there, stay there. Okay. So thanks everyone. Thanks.
Take care,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, thanks
See you
Igor.
Thank
next
Thanks.
you.
session.
Bye. See you.
And
Thank you.
Andres, see everyone. See you. Bye bye.